Now let's get into the real programming, and by looking at the program that I wrote many years ago. Uh, this is a very traditional standardized SAS program that produces the outputs just in plain text file. So it is different from what we require because we have the capacity, the ability to produce much nicer results. So by using ODS output system, but still, it is very important to look at the procedures that I use to produce even the traditional standardized outputs. Let's get to the program itself. If you look at the first block, this is a header that is standardized for any company that produce SAS file, and in the header you provide all the necessary information for documentation purpose, and I have already sent the header to you, so you can use it and copy it, modify it, and to your own needs. And this block is just a basic option, the system option, as well as the macro variable that used. And one thing I want you to do is to standardize your own photos for this class, because you just use E, that is your flash disk, your memory stick, so you can just everybody can run the programs by using the same photo, so that you don't need to change the path. And then to prepare for the formats that are used before you do any real work, and because you are going to use a lot of formats that to that is used to produce the outputs and the layouts for each variable. Now after we can start the programming right now. If you look, the first step is just input all the data sets. As you can see in the slides, we input the data set by using proc import. And so, but remember, proc import is licensed with access module. Some companies don't have the proc import licensed, so you might try DDE or just data step by using in-file statement. So at least you have two alternatives to proc import. Then after we got all these data in the raw data in Excel, we can get the other data set that are used for deriving or selecting the ITT that is stored in the derived data sets, especially the the derived library, the subject info, and you can see to get into the data set. The SAS data set is much easier, so you can just set up this information, and you can get all this. Well, this is back to the derived folders. After you got all these data set ready, and the first thing first, you need to check if there are any duplicates, and then you need to check if there are missing values, and then you need to check if there's any illogic data, and then report them to your manager. So I set up 3 rules for any good SAS programmer before you do any analysis. Rule 1, check duplicates, especially for the demographic table, because these concern the number of subjects for the study. If anything that is wrong goes wrong with this demographic information, and your other tables might be wrong because you duplicate these results, and other tables are based on the demographic information. So you check the duplicates and you report the duplicates, you find the missing values, and then you do some data manipulation and you get it ready by normalizing data, and then you can start doing analysis. So then you look at the categorical data and you can do perk summary, and then you can transpose the results into the format. So these are all for descriptive statistics. Now what about p-values that you found on the table shell? Well, to calculate the p-value, most likely you want to use perfrig for categorical variables. And since we're talking about we are analyzing these these categorical variables, we use perfrig, and we can get the output by using this statement: output out, then out equals give you the the data set that you can manipulate later on. So we get this p-value for the categorical variable, and then we goes on to continuous variable. For the continuous variable in the pharmaceutical industry, most likely you'll see the proc univariate that is used to obtain the descriptive statistics. So the output statement over here will specify what statistic you are going to get. N equals N, you get N, number of observations. Mean equals mean, you get number of the means. And standard deviation, median, minimum, and maximum. So you got all these basic descriptive statistics by using perk univariate. So after that, you can manipulate the data, and you can format it in different way by using put statement. And then after you got this formatted, you transpose it, and because you want to put treatment results into columns. So you did the transposition and you change the structure, and you are ready for this descriptive statistic for the continuous variable. But what about the p-value for comparing the differences between the treatment groups? Well, the PROC-GOM was very popular before, but right now, of course, it is most likely replaced by PROC mixed. But you just look at this, the procedure, and this is used to get the p-value that is necessary for making the table. After you got the p-value, and then you select what you have, that's this type 3, and then you got the results. So you got all these descriptives as well as inferential statistics, and then you combine all these data together, and after the combination, you just manipulate the data and create some variables like the order that is only used for